Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys for being here tonight. This is a really exciting time for us here at Portage High School. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Will O'Neill. I am the athletic director. And on behalf of Mr. Stills, Mr. Jones, the school administration, Dr. Alanez, Dr. Stevens here, thank you guys for being here. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I just want to let you guys know that we are extremely excited to make this introduction of our new head football coach, Roy Richards, this evening. We had a pretty exhaustive interview process. We got applications from literally across the country. We had resumes from Minnesota, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Arkansas, Texas, got one from Mississippi and Missouri. So we had about 9 different states covered in the application process. And after it was all said and done, the coaches that we talked to, it all came down to hiring a local Northwest Indiana coach who most everybody knows and is quite familiar with his success, both at Hammond, his recent success as an assistant at Michigan City. And we are extremely excited for the direction and the leadership that he's going to bring to the Portage High School football team moving forward. And at this time, I would like to bring up our new head football coach, Roy Richards.
Let me first start off by saying, guys, I've been waiting my whole career for something like this. When Mr. Stills calls me and said, "Hey, Royden, are you ready to be the next Portage coach?" It's like time just stopped. And I'm holding the phone, and I've been in this 33 years, and it hit me then that I've been waiting 33 years to hear something like that from that gentleman, to be at a place like this. I've had a great career and I've had lots of success, and that's not really what I even look back on. Let me tell you a little bit about how I think, and I think maybe that'll help you guys to know a little bit about me. Do you remember when you were a kid, when you were in something that just made you get up in the morning and it just gave you a spring in your step? It separated you from the next guy, and for me that was football. There's just something about the game and the camaraderie and the memories that just made life great. And so when I got into coaching, because my dad was a coach, I just admired the effect that he had on people, and some of those memories of my brother and I running around the sidelines and watching him, I would just kind of soak it in on the attention that the kids gave him, and the way they would just respond to his comments and guidance. I thought to myself, God, I want to do something that just makes me feel that way. And as I got older, I got into coaching, and I thought to myself, I remember being a kid. I remember having the time of my life. I remember having memories that I couldn't wait to just relive. As an adult, I keep in touch with the friends, and no matter what we're talking about, no matter where we are in the stage of our life, high school football comes back to our conversation. And hey, dude, do you remember this? Hey, how about this? And I just take a step back and I think, there's just something about being a part of something that makes you feel good, that makes you feel special. In today's world, it's different than when I was a kid, guys. Kids need that. They need something that just gets them out of bed in the morning, that makes them feel different, that makes them feel better, that makes them walk a little taller, that makes them put their shoulders back. And to be a part of that, to be somebody that is on the receiving call of, are you ready to be Portage's head football coach? All of that comes back to you. That I get to do that. I get to be that guy. And it's not the success or failure of a Friday night. It's the opportunity to be put in a position where I get to help somebody else create those memories that I have. And that's what's special. And when you get to meet my wife, you'll see exactly why she's my wife. That she's the kind of person that makes you get up in the morning and say, dang, I got it pretty good. This is a darn good life I've got. And everybody that I handpicked to bring with me are guys, they're my family. These are guys that I mean, Dave played for us at Morton. He's been to our house so many times. Colin comes to our house every big college and pro game. And we just already know we're going to get together because that's just what we do. You know, DC played for us at Morton, moved next to me when I was living in Maryville, and we're family. And that's kind of what we do. We coach like a family, and we're going to coach the sons in the community like our family. And it goes back to the phone call. If you don't get that call, you're still doing your thing, but there's something special, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity. I can't wait for you to meet some of these coaches and see them in action. You're going to be proud of them. And I really want you to get to know my wife and see what a huge part of my world she is. And the fact that we get to come out here and be a part of this community, this school, is a chance of a lifetime. So I appreciate it. You guys are clapping for me, and that's really cool, but I'm clapping for you that you're giving me this opportunity, and I just can't tell you how special it is. That's me, and that's how I coach. And I was accused in the interview of giving a speech, and I thought, you know what, I could see that. But once you get to know me, that's just not what it is. You know, you just live your life with the opportunity to do something special. And shoot, I made a mistake. I hope it didn't get back to Mr. Stills, but I asked the athletic secretary yesterday in the middle of class, I walked over to her, I said, "Are you guys actually paying me for this?" And of course she said, "Don't tell anybody that," but that's how much fun it is when you're with people that make you smile. And this is gonna be fantastic. You know, the vision for Portage football is just that. Will we win? Absolutely. But this is how you win. You win with great people who have lots of passion, that work really hard together and then care for each other. That's how you win in anything, in sports, in business, in anything, in families. It's good people working really hard at what they love to do with the people they love, and they watch out for each other. And that's what Portage football is going to be from now on. And it's going to be that way in the community. It's going to be that way in the Pop Warren. It's going to be that way in the middle schools. It's going to be that way. And it's going to be that way long after all of us are gone, because that's just the way it's going to be from now on. And when you talk to the kids and I tell them, you're in this with us. You're not in front of us, you're not behind us, you're right next to us, and we're right next to you. And you don't play for me, you play on the team I coach. And these guys don't coach for me. They coach with me on the team that we were fortunate enough to coach with. And so that's really how we carry ourselves, and that's how we expect the kids to carry themselves. And they're going to walk tall, and they're going to be character kids, and they're going to be academic kids. And we want football in the summer to be in the middle of when summer school is. And we're going to tell the kids, if you're a football player, academics are taken care of first, and you're not a summer school kid if you're on this football team, hopefully. And that's going to be the goal and the dream and the vision. You know, I think the school's vision was giving an opportunity for everyone to succeed. I think I'm close with that. And that's really what every program has to be. The football program has got to mirror the principal's vision of a school. If it doesn't, then it just doesn't work. You know, I told my wife, I got a text from the superintendent at Portage High School that wants to come and meet me. And that's never been done. You know, that's special. That makes you really feel like that they're buying in, and they want to make sure that you're the right fit. I don't ever mind being under the microscope. I think that's important. You know, it's just like you guys want to make sure the principal and the teachers are there for the right reasons, and I'm here to tell you they are. I'm impressed. We're going to work our butts off to model exactly what's been going on at Portage High School in the building. And there's amazing things happening. And we want to be the guys that help be the catalyst for all the other stuff. So we're excited about it. We can't wait. If you ever have questions, man, throw them at us. If there's something you don't like, hit us with it. I mean, we're not sensitive people. You know, these guys they've all been around me long enough. Their skin is this thick. You know, and we're used to battling with each other. We're used to having so much fun that's what happens. But we are certainly people that have a lot of care and compassion. So we're going to coach really hard, but we're going to coach with a lot of care and compassion. And you're never going to see an opponent have a coaching staff that's worked hard. It absolutely cannot happen. I don't know if it's possible. I'll be honest with you. I think Dave Cisak has probably driven our administration nuts, calling every day. Hey, am I cleared to come in? Hey, can I come in? Can I start working with the kids? Hey, can I come in and lift? Hey, is my background check done? And that's just because that's our passion. You know, I think sometimes people are afraid to hand us part of the keys to part of the building because they're afraid that we'll spread out too much. But part of us, that's just the way we are. So we can't wait to be a part of your community. We can't wait to coach your kids. And if there's anything at all that we are not seeing or not doing, man, hit us with it. You know, we're not those people that, hey, I'm the coach or the parent. That's not it. This is a family here. We're on the same team now. This is a Portage community program, and that's how we're going to run this. This is not the Portage High School football team. We are here for the Portage family football program, and that's the way we're going to run it, and that's the way everybody here is going to look at it. And guys, we don't know any other way. And so please understand that that's what you're going to get from us, and I hope that you guys are pleased. Our goal is to make you proud. Our goal is to make sure that Mr. Stills is glad he made that phone call. And I told each one of these guys, that's our goal, is that he's glad he made that phone call. I don't ever want anybody to think, dang, we should have. I want them to say, we should have done this sooner.
Mike Jamia here, alongside Coach Royden Richards, the newest head coach for Portage High School. Coach, congratulations, and how does it feel to be an Indian?
Oh, man, it feels amazing. I appreciate you having me on and introducing me like that. This is a dream, guys. Like I said in the press conference, probably a job that I've been waiting my whole career for. So when I got the call, I just can't tell you how excited I was. And the excitement has just grown because everybody has been so great to me.
Coach Richards, you were a coach at East Chicago, then the head coach at Wharton from 1999 to 2014. Your record there was 119-66. You won 4 sectionals and a regional title. Most recently, you were an assistant coach at Michigan City, where your team made 3 semi-state appearances. You clearly have a wealth of coaching experience, but it's been nearly a decade since you've been a head coach. How does it feel to be leading a program?
It feels amazing. You know, when I'm the head coach, I don't really think of it as this is my program, because most of the guys I coach with are guys that I've been with so long that we're just a bunch of guys that love being together, and we coach something together. And then when I went to Michigan City, you know, Phil's the head coach. Phil and I have known each other forever, and I was able to bring Colin and Dave. It wasn't like we weren't the head coach. We just grabbed it and ran with it, and whatever was in front of us, we took care of it. And I never really felt like I was out of the head coaching realm. You know, I never looked at it that way. And I don't look at this as, oh, cool, I finally get to be a head coach. This is, we just get to go to another really good place in the Doolin and see if we can do it again. And that's really what it is. And the guys we're bringing, the guys we've inherited, it's such a great group that there's just no way it's not going to be successful in the humanity part of it. And if the kids buy in, which it looks like they're going to, man, if we don't win, this is on me, you know. But this is going to be a lot of fun. The excitement is amazing. And, you know, my wife has already seen that look in my eye, and she goes, oh, boy, here we go. You're going to be that guy again? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be a family guy. I'm going to make sure I'm getting home enough. And so there's the balance that I've got to make sure I've got. But I can't wait.
You mentioned how it's this kind of team aspect amongst the coaching staff, and how you don't feel like you've been out of the head coaching realm.
Right.
But how has the game from a schematic and a strategic standpoint has changed since you have been a head coach?
Yeah, it has changed. And once again, I really think we are the ones that change it. You know, we're running a style of defense we never ran at Morton. I ran the offense at Morton, and I kind of made sure the defense was what I liked, and I let those guys run it. And I didn't spend the detailed time. And offensively, we were offensive, we were dynamic. And then we go to Michigan City and we're running the defense, and we have put in so many countless hours of detail on defense, and that's why we're so good. And every year we would get together and draw up, if we were playing us, this is what we would run. This is what we would tweak. This is what we would do. Because at the end of Morton, we were really onto something offensively. We were kind of on an autopilot where we were just scoring at clips you just don't score at. And then all of a sudden you're the defensive coordinator. So we kept saying, one of these days we're going to get back to doing that again. And we're going to have the benefit of being able to run the defense we've been running. So this is kind of like the best of both worlds, where I think schemes and things have changed, but I think there are certain teams in the NFL, like the Eagles, that change things. And so everybody else has to adjust. It's a copycat league. And I think in our conference, we're some of the teams that have changed some things. And it's why we can't wait to kind of keep doing it. The other coaches in the Doolin are so good that it's just going to be so much fun playing chess against those guys and seeing who gets the kids ready faster. So it's going to be fun.
Coach, I can feel your excitement about this opportunity
Yeah.
to bring those things to Portage in this role. In your press conference just moments ago, you mentioned, and I had to write this down because it stuck with me, as many of the things that you said, but you said you live your life with the opportunity to do something special. Why Portage? What about this opportunity feels right for you?
Yeah, I don't know why Portage. I kind of said it before we started, Aaron. Maybe things just work out. I've had opportunities. Chris will tell you, I've been finalists on jobs so many times, and I don't necessarily know if they were great jobs or jobs for me. I wanted to be a head coach again. I wanted to get closer to home. I just wanted to do something different. So why Portage? Maybe this is when things come together. They have athletes, they have facilities. It's a huge school. Just the interview process was special. The associate superintendent is in the interview asking questions. The principal's kind of running the show. The athletic department is awesome. So you realize you were getting the best of their group, looking you in the eye and dissecting. And that's what you want. I've been in interviews where, I've been an athletic director. I'm not going to minimize it, but the AD and a couple of coaches are there, and you're thinking, I don't know. Are they as invested in this as I am? And when I walked into the Portage interview, I saw that, man, they're not going to waste time of people like that are going to spend 45 minutes to an hour talking to a guy they've never met, unless they really want to know if you're the person that can help the kids in their community, and that was special. That grabbed me, and I think the timing is perfect. If I've had thoughts where maybe I'm never going to be a head coach again, that's okay. We're doing great. I love what I'm doing. And then there are days I'll get up and I'll say, man, I can't settle. This isn't me. When I'm done, but I'm not done. And so this is fantastic. This is the opportunity to get in that fast car you've been dying to drive and put it on the runway and see what it does. And man, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put the pedal down and see how fast we can go. And if we crash, we crash, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Coach, you talk about the interview process with Portage, and you talk about how everyone was very invested. The assistant superintendent, the principal, everybody spending all this time trying to get to know you. For the folks who are trying to learn more about you as a football guy, what aspects of football do you get most excited about?
Getting a kid to do something that he doesn't know he can do, and I think he can. You talk to kids. They'll say, "Hey, what do you want? What position you want to play?" Receiver. Are you fast? Yeah. Can you catch? Yeah. Right away, you're thinking, "Oh man, we're going to work this kid to the point where he's going to be great at catching. He's going to walk around and he's going to answer that question so differently, and he's going to feel so good about himself." And that's what makes you really you just can't wait to get started as a coach. The wins. Man, you mentioned my record. I don't even know what the record is until they tell you got to put your record down to do this stuff. And it's not the wins. It's getting a kid to do something that you think, like you're looking at those kids, and I saw this big guy today, and this gentleman, and he said, "That's my son." I'm like, holy cow. You know, I'm working the heck out of that kid in the weight room today. He's really put together, and I'm thinking, man, how big can we get this kid? And then you see the father, and you're going, yeah, you know, that's what really gets you going. And once it translates to the field, and then our passion for our X's and O's and schematics takes over, all of what you've done now has turned that kid into a player that does exactly what you thought he can do. And then it's fun. And then it just takes off, you know. So that's really cool about that.
You highlight player development.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, makes an excellent football player?
Passion, you know, passion. I mean, there are kids I see in Portage and other schools, good looking at, hey, you want to play some football? Right away, you know, how can I get out of this conversation fast enough? But I don't want to make the kid think I don't care about him because he doesn't want to play, because he's probably a really nice kid. It's not his fault. The football coach asked him, you know. But when a kid looks in the eye and says, yeah, I played linebacker. I mean, just that look in his face, how he can't wait to prove to you that he's a linebacker. That's what lights you up, you know? That was me. You know, that was me. Couldn't wait for the head football coach to recognize me and see me, and then go out and watch me, and then think, man, I want to play that kid at this position. You know, I still remember when the head coach at the high school came to our middle school and saw me and said, what position do you play? And that was like, you know, some idol was saying that to you, and you're going, I play linebacker, coach. You know, he probably walked away thinking, you know, the guy's drooling all over himself, and I'm just a coach, but that meant the world to me. And so I want that to be there. I want those kids to feel that, what I felt. I want that to happen at Portage. And it happened at Michigan City. I'm going to tell you, kids could not wait to play defense. When it didn't matter the score. As soon as the other team had the ball, you saw 11 guys going out like they couldn't wait to go out there. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, man, they're going to score on us because we're just so young. This is last year. But try telling them that. They couldn't wait to go out and do that. That's why we do what we do. And so being told, hey, you're going to be able to be the head football coach at Portage, that means I get to do what I do. And that's pretty cool.
Coach, it's clear that you'll have a lot of talent here, and
Yeah.
you talk about the passion of these players, and that is, like, to you, the greatest asset in a football
You
player.
bet.
Working with those players, right? You mentioned earlier about how when you were at Michigan City and previously, you and your coaches would get together and you would think, okay, how would we game plan against us, right?
Right.
Knowing this roster, having prepared against this roster, what are some things that stand out to you? And can you describe how you will go about developing your game plan?
Sure. I think a lot of it comes with, we have to start with expectations. You know, I think when we took the field against Portage this year, I saw a very evenly matched team athletically. I saw one team that expected to win. I saw one team that expected to lose. And it just materialized right in front of me. And I remember talking with Dave and Colin, and we're on defense, and I think the first series was a 3-and-out. We blocked the punt, picked it up, and ran it in the end zone for a touchdown. And I thought, we expected to do that. During the week, we talked about how we're going to block this punt. We talked about how we're going to get off the fast start on defense. And our kids expected it to happen. And you could see that the Portage kids probably just, here we go. And that's kind of, that we're going to have to start with expectations. We're going to get them to expect to succeed. And we're going to get them to succeed in practice so they will expect. We'll do it and do it and do it again until they see that they're going to be successful. You know, game planning. We did not move the ball against Portage last year. You look at their scores, they're 2-8. They were in almost every game. Their coaches were good. Their schemes were good. The players are good. The expectations were so low, they weren't going to win. And it's just, sometimes that's the way it works, you know? And sometimes you need a change just because you need a change. And the change has to then ignite excitement to create expectations, or else you're going to get the same thing. But once you create that, then that energy turns into positivity, and then you start executing, and then it's going to be a while, and then next thing you know, they're going to forget they were ever unsuccessful, you know? I mean, you talk to the Morton kids, and they don't even remember when Morton was good. When I was at Morton, if someone mentioned Morton, they'd say, "Oh, that's that football power." We had a basketball coach that was at a basketball clinic in Indianapolis, and he came back and told me, he goes, "I'm at this basketball clinic, and they asked me what school I'm at, and I told them Morton, and they said, 'Oh man, you're in that football power.'" He goes, I couldn't wait to go back and tell you." And yet, when we first started at Morton, they were so bad for so long, they didn't remember how to be good. And so you get in those phases. So you can get out of it. You just got to get kids to expect to get out of it. You got to work on preparing them to be successful. And you got to get them to envision being successful. And then once that happens, man, try convincing them they're not good. That's going to be a hard thing. So that's going to be the task at hand more than anything. It's going to be establishing high expectations.
You talk about establishing high expectations and igniting that excitement and preparing them to meet these expectations. What will your role be working in the school, and what advantages do you see in this role to potentially do those things?
Yeah, the great thing is it got me in the weight room, so I have a chance to see all the kids that sign up. And then I get a chance to meet with the counselors and say, these are the football players in 2023. Let's get them in the weight room in the fall so then we can go ahead and continue this. So they've really put me in a position where I can be successful, and I appreciate that. They didn't stick me in a classroom in the corner, say, "Oh, cool, we got them in the building." So they obviously have the vision that is what attracted me. Now it's up to me to get those guys to have the excitement to come after school. They haven't been doing that. To get into the weight room and be willing to work until you're exhausted, and then take a quick shower and go to math class. And that's something they haven't been doing. And so you've got to get them to change their mindset a little bit. You know, everybody wants to play on Friday. Everybody wants to I want to be the quarterback and the fullback. How often in February do you want to work out to the point where you might throw up and then go to English class and sit there? And that's where you develop that. You know, that's where you build that one kid at a time where, you know, at the end of February, we're going to have about 15 to 20 that have just bought into hard work. Then at the end of March, we're going to have 30 to 35 that have just really bought into it. And then at the end of April, then there's in the 40s. And that's kind of how you do it. Because I had someone say, "How are your numbers?" Why? I mean, is it February 1st? Who cares what my numbers are on February 1st? Ask me in May and give me 4 months for those kids to be around those coaches and to be around the energy. I had a kid tell Dave, who came in yesterday to help with the kids. I had the kid tell Dave, I heard him say, "Man, there's energy from you guys." And sometimes you just don't realize that you're not giving it. You know, sometimes you go through a day and you think to yourself, "Man, I didn't bring my A game," but no one's around to remind you, and you just get into that rut. And so that's kind of where we're at right now. And game planning, I think we're talking about building and building and building. And the game plan is going to be doing what we do as coaches on that field and getting them to do it really, really well. Schematics wise, we're just bursting out of the seams. We can't wait to do it. But it doesn't do you any good if you're putting a kid out there that just thinks it's not going to work. And I might do it on Tuesday, but Wednesday I've got to go here. And those expectations have to change.
You mentioned working in the weight room. Can you talk a little bit about the facilities here at Portage, and are they state of the art? That's what I know we've known at Portage. How do they compare against other schools and other places that you've been to?
You know, certain parts of the facilities are amazing, and others where I thought didn't really stand up to what I thought they'd be.
Okay.
You know, I'm used to an exclusive locker room where the football players can work out and be in, where they can practice and be in. And that's not the case. We're sharing a lot of stuff, and that's okay. I'm not knocking anything, but I'm used to being in the weight room with a bunch of kids, and in this school, which is a good thing, incredible amount of football players rush and play basketball, which is a great thing. An incredible amount of football players run track and baseball, which is a great thing, but not an incredible amount of football players are in the weight room during the day. Mm. And so there's where the imbalance is. The facilities in the weight room are excellent. You know, I think you're talking Crown Point and Maryville, and maybe those schools might have gone above and beyond, but they're excellent here. The field house, having that is excellent. You know, the Michigan City people would kill for a field house. beautiful facility as far as the stadium goes. The school here is beautiful. I don't think if I'm a kid, I could ask for a better school to go to. I'm gonna tell you, I don't think that they're better people, and I think that's where your facilities trump everybody. You're talking about a first-class group of administrators that are welcoming and approachable and professional, yet at the same time are regular people and you can sit down with and still know their stuff, and it's impressive. So I think that if you're talking facilities, I'm going to talk people facilities. I think they're outstanding, and that's where we're ahead of the game.
I know it's February 1st,
Yeah.
and you had mentioned that, asking what my numbers are May 1st.
Sure.
Have you had the chance to speak with the team yet?
No,
Okay.
I haven't, and I don't even know who the team is yet. And it's not fair for me to have a call-out meeting when everybody, like wrestling regionals are this week and basketball's playing at the top of their game. And who wants to be the kid that misses out of the meeting or is asked to come to the meeting when they've got practice? I think what I keep doing is I keep reaching out through Huddle with Message. I keep reaching out kids, bring another kid, talk to me about who this kid is. I need to know more names of kids that I need to reach out to. And then when the winter sports season starts to taper down, wrestling's over, basketball ends, there's that gap. Then we have a football call-out meeting. We get everybody in there. We talk about a vision of what we're going to do. And then the track and the baseball kids then go, and everybody else then is with you. And I think that's what you do. I think if you did it now, you'd be disappointed in the numbers because you're asking kids to stretch. Talking to a basketball player about football right now is not fair to them. Even though we want to, it's not fair to them. They're playing such great ball, and let's let them play their ball. Wrestling team has 13 out of 14 weight classes advanced to the regionals. Who wants to talk to a wrestling kid about a football meeting right now? Let's let them do their thing. Let's let these sports, let's support them. When those guys are done, then we're going to have a full meeting. We're going to talk about bringing in your parents. We'll have a call-out meeting, and then we'll say, okay, we're going to bring out your parents. We're going to meet in the auditorium. We want every one of you guys and have your parent here. We're going to talk about what's expected, what we need from you. Here's the schedule. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to emphasize. These are the things that we won't tolerate. Things like that, I think, to get people to understand where we're coming from and get them to realize that the Portage football program is going to be all-encompassing, and that's really what you want to do. But you got to have all their attention. So doing it in the next couple of weeks, everybody wants me to. I don't think it's fair to me or to those kids. I think one of us is going to be disappointed. It's probably going to be me.
Coach, I think we can respect that decision to hold off on having a team meeting, as you mentioned, with the winter sports in full go right now.
Right.
But for those kids watching, what kind of culture do you plan on establishing here, and what will the identity of this team be?
Yeah, high character. We're going to be great students. We're going to do community service. I've already reached out to food pantries and soup kitchens in Portage. We're going to do like we did in Hammond. We're going to take care of things. Next winter, once I'm settled, we're going to have shovels and brushes and towels, and we're going to towel off and brush off all the teachers' cars when it snows. We're going to get a hold of the addresses of the senior citizens, and we're going to get out there and we're going to shovel them out. So that way, if they ever need to go somewhere, they're clear. We're going to give them my cell number. So if a weekend hits, can you get me? I'm going to call a couple of my coaches, meet me at this address, and we're going to take care of it. We're going to let the people in Portage know that the football team is going to be a high-character team. Nobody wants to go watch a team win on Friday and then hear about the misconduct over the weekend and see kids at a restaurant that don't behave, and nobody wants that. So that's not what we're going to be. We're going to model in the community what these folks have these kids do in the home. And that's really what the message we want to send. And it's a lot of fun doing it too. When you're doing stuff like that together, those are some of the memories that we're talking about. It only brings you closer together.
Talk about sending that message of high character guys in the community. Speaking of sending a message, the first game of the season for you guys will be at Morton, where you had a ton of success. How different will it be coaching at the Governor's Mansion just on the other sidelines?
Yeah, it's going to be really weird, strange. What I really want to emphasize on that week is it's the first game I'm the Portage football coach, rather than I'm playing Morton. You get me?
Yes.
It's not fair to those kids for me to think what a monumental day this is and I'm playing at Morton. I want them to think the monumental part of it is I'm the Portage football coach and this is game one. And that's really how I want to look at it. I think what's going to be really strange is I think it's week 6. We're at Michigan City for Michigan City senior night. And all those kids that I've coached for 3 years are going to be walking. There's folks that I know down, and I'm going to be standing there as the opponent. So that'll be a stranger feeling for me. I've been out of Morton for 8 years, and that's a chapter in my life that's gone. And that's the first game that I'm the head football coach at Portage. And it could be at Morton. It could be anywhere. That's a game we're going to win. That's how we're looking at it.
Well, Coach, best of luck to you
Hey,
on this
thanks.
new chapter.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Mike Shemia alongside new Portage High School football coach Roy Richards with Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Region Sports Network.